Alex Ansary here. It is September 9th in the year 2017. Going to talk about the politics of Facebook. This time around, discussing Facebook, previous video recordings, get into archonic sabotage of relationships through Facebook, Facebook replacing our relationships, and just the all-around dangers of social media addiction. I've talked about the mental illnesses that I'm starting to see in some males and females in the last few years. Certain viewers, not all, certain obsessions, certain unnatural tendencies which really aren't a part of our ancestral heritage, whatever your racial background is. So just the obsession, the computer technology, and the lower vibrational emotions that come when people are staring constantly at someone that they don't like, people being addicted to watching people that they don't like, jealous feelings that come about when people are on social media, maybe seeing people that may seem to be having a better life, maybe people out there like to brag about, you know, how great their boobs are feeling that day, or how great their ass feels, or how great their vacation was, what a great, wonderful meal it was, what a wonderful mate that they have. Hey, everybody just like that, wonderful. And then, you know, from personal experience, 8 years now on Facebook, I can see how some people have added me on Facebook to get more information, more ideas. And the reality is I'm going to be putting more of that on my own website, alexansary.tv. I'm also going to be sharing additional content that isn't on the YouTube channel at the on-demand channel, outsidethebox.vhx.tv, because I can also see the effect of giving YouTube, social media, Facebook, not so much Twitter, although I'm on Twitter, but I haven't given Twitter as much of my energy and thoughts as Facebook. And Facebook itself seems to almost, with of course the collection of minds that use it, and artificial intelligence, it feels like a psychic vampire. Okay, it truly does. It feels like something that actually sucks energy, ideas, and then you almost think about an alien species using AI to learn about humanity. Yeah, I think about things like YouTube. I think about things specifically like Facebook, as Facebook itself is changing the human brain, changing relationships. I could see how women, for example, have added me to Facebook as a little add-on, get to know Alex, you know, maybe observe Alex for a period of time before, you know, of course, deciding if he's worthy or not. And I can feel intuitively this process happening over the years. And the thing is, when you're not having a face-to-face conversation and you're already a controversial person and you're going against the grain on every particular mass consciousness, like groupthink, and I'm going against groupthink. Not if it's a positive groupthink that relates to love and consciousness, but the negative aspects of groupthink. I'm all about going against that. So eventually what will happen, even to people that are fans, they start seeing my contrarian nature come out and say, Facebook, and, you know, and they're reading it, but they're reading it on Facebook and they're getting a particular sensation that is less than positive. And they might even assume, because the opinion is strong, doesn't matter that the writing isn't all in caps. They might assume that I'm screaming at them personally. And so there's also like a rise in mental illness that tends to occur with Facebook. People may think that you're specifically talking to them, and it can occur with YouTube as well. Again, these forms of mental illnesses that we're seeing with the human interface with technology, which by the way is transhumanism. You could be a critic of transhumanism, but also be a part of transhumanism. You see what I'm saying? That's to add to the sprinkle the mental illness on top of it. You have anti-transhumanists that are becoming transhumanists with their obsessions with YouTube personalities. And we're also going to see where the obsessions go into the 2020s as the technology advances and things of that nature. So I've determined it's actually better to not have a Facebook account, a personal page. My .tv page is where I post my videos. To explain to the audience that doesn't know the difference between a a page where you just post information that other people can access on Facebook, as opposed to having your own personal page. When you have your own personal page and you have 3,600 contacts like I do, not friends but contacts, you're now, especially if you're sensitive, exposed to all their information, everything that's going on in their lives, right? All the happy, shiny people holding hands, right, that are involved in their life, right? And then the painful feelings that also come about when I post about something that's very important and see people care more about a lost puppy or a lost dog. You know, people posting more about a fight, which some people believe is fixed anyway. Mayweather versus McGregor. And there could be really, like, people dying in a flood in Texas, like, as it's happening. And these are people that think that they're awake and schooling the sheeple, only to see the people that think that they're schooling the sheeple to seem to be the most ignorant of all. And so it's painful to see people lost in a Facebook crack addiction. And how can I be critical of a Facebook crack addiction while still partaking in that addiction? I would have to pull back, again, have a different profile, just post information on the .tv page. But do I feel withdrawal symptoms, right? To a certain degree, yes. And a lot of it is just physical, from just being used to the computer. So, of course, I open up a minds.com page, and feel free to follow along and follow my posts, but I am still posting on another social media page, but it's outside of Facebook. When Facebook makes it to where people see my posts, right, my text posts, and there's like 30 comments and people giving their really strong opinions on someone else's life, and I put out a 3-hour video or documentary and not a single person likes it, it's either that the people don't like it or that Facebook is making sure that they don't see my YouTube posts, meaning that the whole thing is a waste of time. So which is it? It's actually a combination of both. I've actually seen evidence that people really are seeing the posts, but they're choosing to focus on things that oh, so what about those dead Afghans? Here, there's a Texas explosion. Oh my God. And then the crying emo is something that I'm done with. And I just went on a rant on my own .tv page saying, folks, I know a lot of you are into the simulated crying emojo. I'm not into it. It's another reason why I've stepped away from my personal Facebook page. I'm no longer down with technology representing an emotion. There are so many filters. This is what a lot of people don't understand, especially those that aren't sensitive. But there are some that are sensitive, but they're ignorant. So they don't even understand why they're going friggin' crazy. And those men and women are losing their minds on Facebook, reposting fake news without an intuition to say, hey, whoa, what you're doing is wrong. You're posting fake news. And it's immoral to demonize XYZ group. What is effing wrong with you? That's a mentally ill group of human beings that we need to step away from. The few good people that are on there should understand, people that can hear my voice, the need to communicate in mediums outside of Facebook. That would be forums, and I'm talking about outside of also the comment section. There are a lot of different reasons I shut down the YouTube comments. One of them was just my own OCD. You know, refreshing the screen, who's commenting now? And then upset with YouTube for hiding some of the comments as well, and not even be able to see what it claims people are commenting on. And then, of course, the ignorant comments. But as far as the positive people that are out there, as we move into 2018, I'm going to try to develop another chat or forum or a way for us to communicate, maybe something another a little more user-friendly than the forum that's on the main website, alexansary.tv. But the comment section on YouTube will remain open. It's just that people really need to understand, right? It's not healthy to become addicted as a consumer or a content creator to the main social media web pages. But it's the current reality that we're in, that people spend more time on websites more than likely created or run by the government or the NSA than going to someone's personal website and contributing something to a heartfelt or open-hearted blog. So there's a reason why you're going to see, right, more content from me on YouTube. I have more time for it, and I'm going to be looking at doing this, not anything else, but this, full-time in the coming days and coming weeks, right? So I encourage you to support my work. There are links down below for Patreon for people that like the views that are shared here. You know, a lot of the videos are still demonetized. Some of them are remonetized, but they remonetize after they demonetize after most people have watched the video. There's also a lot of people that have dropped out from my channel that aren't going to be open-minded to an open thinker who's just sharing off the top of his head. They want that conspiracy mold. They want that left-right paradigm. They want that World War III news. Ooh, I said that word. This video will be demonetized. So I'm going to continue to share a lot of free information on YouTube as well as my on-demand channel. But your support is needed more than ever to make up for the YouTube demonetization shortfall. And there's only a few of you that are actually kicking down over at Patreon. So I want you to actually go down the description and explore those links. I want to thank you to, is it Danielle, to be the second person next to Brock. So thank you, Brock, and thank you, Danielle, for supporting $5 a month via PayPal. So the audience has multiple options that I've created to chip in. You have PayPal. You can be the third to chip in at $5 a month. Visit alexhansery.tv. You can go to Patreon. It'd be nice to see a few people kick in $20 a month that believe that this content is worth it. If you're cash only, you know, there's Western Union for that person that sees value in maybe supporting or sponsoring this channel for several months, where I just make content after video, video after video after video after video after video, without even having to worry about money. That would be great to see a sponsor like that appear. And then, of course, there's the on-demand channel. And I'm going to reiterate why that's going to continue. There's certain content that I'm not going to share from the heart for free because of the hatred that is out there that you have now seen. I'm going to continue to share aspects of myself and my story, but in a world where I'm a target, it's on the on-demand channel that you get the full story. So that's something that has multiple purposes and multiple reasons why the on-demand channel and its content should continue. And for those that do support that, definitely open to suggestions or requests on particular topics, going deep down the rabbit hole. But no, I'm not going to give all of myself to YouTube. The on-demand channel is another space or soapbox that I've created for information that's no longer just going to be freely shared here. So those are 4 different options that you can support: PayPal, Patreon, OutsideTheBox.vhx.tv, or for those that just run with cash that may really want to throw some support, which I haven't seen in a long time, Western Union. So in conclusion, it's also important that you understand the difference between using Facebook socially and using Facebook to share information. It's important to share information, and I believe in creating content, as you know, but when Facebook changes things, right, and they close the doors and they start creating new algorithms and they're promoting more fake news and bots than they do regular profiles, that's a warning sign. And it's not good socially at any point in one's life for Facebook to be the replacement. Facebook has an amazing ability like no other website to organize groups and gatherings and bring people together around certain things. Now, there was a period in which I saw more people do that, or invite me to groups or people showing interest in real friendship, but instead of it increasing after 2012, it's actually dropped. And a lot of people that have reached out in the physical have been some incredibly shady individuals. The ratio was like a 99 out of 100. So for those of you that are the 1 out of 100, for those of you that are the real 1%, don't give up faith, right, in trying to contact me, but realize you're having to wade through a lot of people that come to sabotage. You know, you're having to wade through a lot of problem adults and issues. So it's important that you also don't take things personally, but that you broaden your horizons as to the type of individuals that actually do try to approach me. So me shutting down that Facebook page is also about self-preservation. I'm not about, as these disasters kick off, being a single man that suffers from loneliness. About to let myself be in a vulnerable situation where some hottie, if you will, right? Oh, Alex, I've been watching you 10 years. Now the disasters are taking place in my community. Hey, maybe you might want to meet up sometime. Maybe see where things go. There's been plenty of time for people to show healthy interest during the appropriate time. I'm very much on the watch for those men or women that are going to pretend to be friends later on when they're evacuating from their state. That's not something that I can easily allow. people that I don't know to be coming to where I live thinking that they're going to be living with me. That's not going to happen. So I sense that there's going to be a lot of new forms of manipulations coming up in the 2020s that people are going to try to play with others online. And it's just, I've seen a lot of warning signs from those people trying to move into Costilla County, right, that are still supporting these establishment candidates and narratives, but they want to contact me for free information about living off the grid. Those people have been my teachers. There's a lot of people out there, they're in hunter-gatherer mode. Hunter-gather, hunter-gather. And going back to Facebook, a lot of people like to hunt and gather and socialize, and they like to get high off of other people's energy, emotion, arguing. You see these people that are just arguing, ranting back and forth. There's this one guy that was talking about the mental illness that he's experiencing being a Facebook junkie. But he doesn't realize it's his Facebook addiction. He thinks it's the fact that people just aren't getting it. Okay, well, he's stuck in the 1990s or the 2000s, the when are people going to wake up years. He hasn't woken up to the fact that people aren't going to wake up. So he's on Facebook suffering. And I told him, dude, the issue more or less isn't that you need to take the blue pill. The issue is you need to start your own website and stop putting all of your ideas on Facebook. I complimented your stuff over 5 times. I reminded him, we met in Portland a few times. And I realized he's suffering from the Facebook crack so heavily. He won't admit he has a problem with putting all his ideas only on Facebook, right? So, again, there was a very strong need and importance once I realized that YouTube was vampiric and throwing us, the content creators, under the bus, as well as many of my own audience members throwing me under the bus, for not humping the Trump or for judging me for other reasons. At some point, some of the things that are positive can turn out to be vampiric. So it's important to create mediums outside of Facebook, outside of YouTube, where we put our content, right? And not just keep putting all of ourselves, all of our ideas, all of our energy into these artificial systems. So this is information definitely for not only the content creator, but you, the human being who's on Facebook. I want to ask you some questions before we leave. And this whole video is going to be on YouTube. But I really ask you to support my work on demand because there'll be additional stuff coming there. Has Facebook enhanced your romance life or your relationship? Or has it caused problems? Have you experienced, for example, like I have, having friends, for example, on Facebook and then never ever seen those friends again? Or seeing those friends that reluctantly joined Facebook and that was their critical or their main reason why they're on the internet. Not creating content, not writing a blog, but connecting with their friends and family on Facebook. This is really like an unmindful way for the monkey Homo sapien to only use the internet, right? To only use Facebook. That is a recipe for disaster. So those people that have allowed that to take place, they have become okay. It's not just happened to women. It's happened to men, and it's heartbreaking. I don't want to see it anymore. They are okay with Facebook replacing real human relationships. And they're literally having relationships on Facebook, and they're crying at each other, and they're laughing back and forth. And sometimes people get angry, and they start making threats. Sometimes people say over Facebook, no wonder people don't like you. You're unlovable. There's nothing to be liked about you. So once you get to that level to where the social media engagement is more negative than positive, that makes all the time sense to either cut the comments or cut off the profile or delete one's channel or to leave the internet entirely. I, myself, am not going to do that. But what I am going to do is cut out the fat. I'm going to cut out the fat. And if someone out there thinks, Alex, I just want to have a Facebook relationship with you. I don't want to like your .tv page. That's ego. And there are all these people that feel that way. Like, we'll be connected on Facebook, but they won't like the .tv page. You don't want to see a YouTube video, but you really like that emotional, juicy paragraph. It's like, whoa. I've actually got a lot to learn. Still in the future, but I've already learned just a lot from this 8 years of the Facebook connection. It definitely provides additional insight into how spiritual parasites warp human relationships and how they can actually end the real relationship or friendship that may have used to exist, right? by throwing out psychic attack energy. Once it's an interface, middleman entity in between two people that are communicating through a screen, it is so easy to end that former friendship forever. What I've seen in my own life is that type of energy sabotage. So we'll continue with this discussion and other spiritual conversations on this matrix in future videos. Again, follow the links down below and start supporting this broadcast.